Today, I'd like to briefly introduce the history of transportation in Tibet. This is part 4 of Tibetan material culture. The Tibetan Plateau, often called the roof of the world, is defined by towering mountains, intersecting rivers, and snow-covered peaks. This extreme natural environment has historically made transportation in Tibet complicated and limited large-scale infrastructure development. In recent decades, roads and railways have been constructed across the plateau, yet comprehensive and accessible transportation remains far from complete. Historically, the development of transportation in Tibet has been a long, gradual, and highly complex process. This history can be understood through several key aspects. First, foot travel and animal power formed the foundation of Tibetan transportation. Pack animals, including yaks, were essential for travel and trade. Horses, donkeys, mules, and even sheep were also used to carry goods across the vast and rugged terrain. Human porters, such as Beifu, who carried tea, were equally vital for movement along these challenging paths. Remarkably, these methods are not merely historical. They continue to play an important role in Tibetan daily life today. Second, river routes and bridge construction were crucial but highly challenging. Rafts made of sheepskin or cowhide were used in some regions. According to historical records, iron bridges were already being built in Tibet as early as 545 BCE, during the reign of Dragom Tsenpo. 3 major types of ancient bridges can be found across the plateau: iron, wooden, and suspension bridges, demonstrating a long tradition of engineering. Third, transportation routes were deeply connected to nomadic culture. Black tent culture developed along migration paths that also served as trade routes. For this reason, Tibet once occupied a central position in trade networks linking Asia with both the East and the West, with Ngari playing a vital role. One striking example is a 17th century dictionary in an Afghan museum, where Tibetan food is listed as a vital caravan supply. During the period of the Tibetan Empire, extensive trade routes were established connecting Tibet with China and India. A well-known example is the Tea Horse Road, or Chama Gudao, which connected Tibet through several dynasties, from the Tang to the Qing. Major routes between Tibet and India ran from the Ngari region toward Kashmir, as well as from Gyanse into the Indian subcontinent. Finally, if we take Lhasa as the central point, 4 major transportation routes shaped Tibet's external connections. The first was the northeastern route through Amdo and Qinghai Lake, connecting Tibet with China, East Turkestan, and Central Asia. The second was the southern route, extending from Lhasa to Nepal and onward to the Indian plains and Persia. The third was the southeastern route, linking Lhasa to Dartsedo in Kham, serving as a significant trade artery. The fourth was the northwestern route through Ngari and Kashmir, reaching Khotan and Kashgar and eventually West Asia. Together, these routes reveal that Tibet was never isolated, but deeply embedded in regional and intercontinental networks of cultural exchange. If you found this talk helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and join us again next Wednesday.